Guys, it is finally here, the build guide for Geoffrey's computer. You've been wanting to build a computer for what, like 2 years now?
1 year.
1 year?
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay, well it's been a while.
Yeah, it's a long time coming. So.
Alright, so we're just going to do a quick rundown of the parts. For our main boot drive, we've got a HyperX Savage, that's a 240 gig SSD. And then for all our other media content, we're going to use a 2 terabyte red Western Digital hard drive. Got a single stick of HyperX memory, that's 8 gigabytes. GPU, we've got a Gigabyte GTX 950. Power supply, Cooler Master G550M, 550 watt modular, semi-modular power supply. It would be nice to go with the fully modular, but because we're on a budget here, we had to go for this. Motherboard, we got an ASUS B150M-Plus D3 motherboard. This is a micro ATX board, which we didn't really need a full ATX, and the micro is just a little bit cheaper. And last of all, CPU, we have the Intel 6th Gen i5 6500.
Like, you can check out the unboxing for the CPU, the GPU, and the motherboard up there.
Yeah. So yeah, we did unboxing of those, so just go and check those out. Yeah, so let's get down to it. Your motherboard comes in an anti-static bag. So basically, you want to be careful when it comes to these sensitive electronics. And so never ever put it back on top of the bag, because you'll run a higher risk of short circuiting it. So what I always say is just put it on top of the box. You know, that's your safest option. You can also wear an anti-static wrist strap or use a anti-static mat, but in this case we don't have one. So what you can actually do is with your power supply, plug it in to the mains. You don't have to turn the power on, just as long as it's plugged in, and just keep touching it once in a while just to ground yourself from any static electricity, which can be extremely harmful to these sensitive electronics. Alright, so first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the motherboard here. This is a brand new motherboard. As you can see, it's got the cover for your CPU. Once you put the CPU in, that cover is going to pop off, and I always say just keep this somewhere safe, just in case you decide to pack this away one day. You also got that cover there. To put your CPU in, so for this particular board, you got just one latch holding down, so just press down on that and just pull that out, and then that basically slides out. And then with your CPU, if you look on the CPU, you can see one of the sides has just a triangle there. So basically, you want to match the triangle on the chip to the triangle on here. There should be one. Yes, so if you have a look on this cover here, there's a little triangle there, so we're going to match that triangle to this triangle. So Geoffrey, would you like to do the honors? Yes, that's it. And put that down and just latch it. Yep, and as you see, the cover just pops off. That's the best way to do this. And just keep that in a safe place. Hold on to it, because you never know when you might need it again. So that's the CPU done. We don't need to worry about any thermal compound for this, because we're using the stock cooler, which already has thermal compound applied to that. But that's for later, when we're just about to put it into the case. Next is we always go for RAM. So let's chuck that in. Something to note: if you're using one, it doesn't really matter where you put it in. But if you're using two, make sure you match the channels. So as you hear, it's differentiated by a dark grey and a black. So if you got two, either put both in the blacks or put both in the dark greys. But in our case, we've got one, it doesn't really matter. So just put it in here, just furthest away from the CPU, so you don't have to worry about any clearance issues if you're not using a stock cooler, and also just to keep the heat away from the CPU. So just match the grooves and just push it in on both sides equally, like that.
Oh, right.
You'll hear a little click sound just so you know it's fully in, and the latch on the side will automatically lock itself back in. So now we've got the CPU and the RAM done, let's get it in the case. This is our case. So on the back here I'm holding is the cables and stuff that came with that for the front IOs. So just taking the bag off that. So you just feed the cables back through the front so you can connect your motherboard to that. Alright, so what we're going to do is screw the motherboard in first. So, actually wait, before that, IO shield. So the case comes with screws that you're going to need. So to put the IO shield in, you go from the inside, match it up to what the motherboard has. So you can see that will end up working like that. So you just put it in and just press down on the corners and it should lock itself in place. Most cases these days will actually come with these raised platforms for your motherboard to go on. So basically your motherboard has little bits of holes for these raised bits, so it will just hold itself there while you screw the other ones on. Just put the motherboard inside there and just match it to the IO shield.
Okay.
You're right there. So we actually just managed to get the motherboard in properly. The problem was that the IO shield wasn't in properly, and it was actually quite really tight, so we had to just mess around with that, try and get that in. But now everything is good. All we can do is start to put in the SSD. So the SSD, it comes with SSD basically. Basically you just undo this screw and then this lens comes out and you just mount it to that. Yeah. Alright, so this is the SSD lens that it comes with. Screws just mount to the bottom there. So yeah, screw them in.
Will that be like extremely tough?
No. Alright, so we've just put in the SSD and the motherboard's all screwed in. Everything's all good. Just some tips. When you're doing the motherboard, make sure you check your case to see if there's any extra standoffs that it comes with that you might want to put in. So yeah, next up, we'll just put in our 2 terabyte hard drive, which on this case, it just goes in over here. Alright, so we just managed to get the hard drive in. So next we're going to go with the power supply. So these are the screws for the power supply. Alright, so we just put in the PSU and you can see all the cables there. It was quite a challenge. I didn't actually read the instructions and thought you had to put it in through the side, and it was like, and we couldn't get it in, so I was like, oh, maybe we're gonna get a hacksaw and cut a bit of the metal off so it can fit. But then this guy read the instructions, so yeah, you actually take this back plate off. The power supply just goes in through there, not through the side of the other side. So
read the instructions.
Yes, read the instructions. Now, next step would be to just put in the GPU and then also the CPU cooler, and then after that we can worry about cable management. So you're gonna take out 2 of these back covers. And then your GPU basically just put it into the top, go for it. Line it up and
Let me take these off.
yeah. Now just press down until it locks. There we go. And then just replace the screws back on here. Alright, so now the GPU is in. We've got the core for our CPU. So to put this in, you just basically put it over the top, line up the holes with the holes on the motherboard, and then you just press down on them until they lock. When you press down on them, do it in a diagonal pattern. So you do this corner, then go to the opposite corner. Yep. So now that's done. Here we have the cable, fan. Just leave that there. Yeah. So now we've got pretty much all the components in there. So we're just gonna plug everything together and then work on some cable management. It comes with 2 SATA 6 gigabit cables. So, like for us, we've got 2 drives. If we had a 3rd drive, then yeah. So that's something to consider. If you're getting more than 2 drives, then you need to get extra SATA cables. Guys, that's pretty much it for this. Yeah, so now we're gonna go off and just tidy this up and install an OS, and we'll get back to you.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Guys, we've just finished, putting everything together. We've cable managed. Everything's all where it's supposed to go. And so I guess this is the moment of truth to see if it will post. So on this USB, I have a copy of Windows 10. So if this works, then it should first boot into BIOS and then onto this. So I'm just going to plug it in here, and
Alright, okay.
we'd like to do the honors. Alright, fans are spinning. That's a good sound. Alright, it's posting. It's good.
Taking a while.
And it's loaded into Windows 10. High five, man.
Yeah, good job.
It's been a long day.
Yes, a very long.
So yeah, I guess this comes to conclude our computer build. So we're just gonna get Windows 10 set up, and yeah, thanks for sticking around with us. Thanks for watching. If you like it, go ahead and press like. If you dislike it, go press dislike. Leave a comment below if you have any opinions or suggestions. This is our first build, so take it easy. And yeah, so we're gonna just go and install Windows 10. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.